some of you do know me, especially if you're a follower, and I appreciate that. Today, I saw a video. I have pre-watched pretty much all of this video. But I have some opinions on some things, and I figured I'd just do a little watch through, live react kind of situation on this video. Because I have some thoughts. So, we're just going to get right into the video. There's probably going to be a good bit of lulls in between, you know, when I actually have something to say or not. But we're going to listen to what he has to say, see if I have any rebuttals to any of this. Put my thoughts out there. And if you like it, like it. If not, well, I guess that's that then. So, let me just get my chats up. I need to make sure I have chats ready to go. That way I'm not missing anything. Go ahead and get the YouTube pulled up. Alright. I don't think anyone's going to be watching from YouTube, but you never know. Time to share some of my lunatic opinions. I love this title. I'm a nut. Alright. Drop that down. Put the chat box there. Now I got both the chats ready to go. Oops. That one there. This one over here. Alright. Chats are up. Video time. It's story time, guys.
What started off as virtue signaling with multiple rainbow flags and naming the engine Wogot turned into a media disaster, and the CEO is desperately trying to calm people down. So there's a community manager that works for this game engine, basically.
So I've already watched this, but we're going to watch it together again.
They've decided to effectively use this game engine as a vehicle for them to complain and get mad about other people not agreeing with their politics.
So the first thing I have to say is, obviously you shouldn't do what's happening here. You should never use the company you're working for as an avenue to project your own values onto other people. One thing that people do not like is being told what to do or what to think. So a lot of people, they love to find people that they agree with and follow their line of thinking. So they already don't like to think. And they really don't want to be told what to think. So that's just like one of my first thoughts on this whole situation. It's a really bad move on the community manager's part to begin with.
So if you look at here, the manager's out of control, banning and blocking developers who left and right have done nothing wrong. And so anyway, prepare to hear a lot more from us. Here we go, the Godot Foundation. This is from 2023. I have been blocked. So basically, this post here, apparently the game engines are woke now. Well, then we won't complain. Show us your woke games below. Somebody...
So... apparently game engines are woke now. This is like, this person got tilted, obviously, about something. Something made them mad to where someone said, maybe someone made a video or something, like, it's all speculation, but maybe something happened out there where someone called the Godot engine a woke engine or something. And he's like, oh yeah, if it's woke, I'll show you woke engine. And they just went in and they were like, I'll make you woke out. We're woke out now. Now I'm a woke engine. You know, and they're just tilted out of their mind. I don't know who peed in this guy's Cheerios, but they're losing it.
I see people that do this. Creates a huge crisis for the open source engine. Seems like he doesn't care specifically and has just gone with this take. And I told you this would happen. I think you're exaggerating a bit, to be honest. I think that a lot of companies have a really big problem with people that are in these social roles that are going to cut, and this coming from Asma, what do you mean by this? Smells bad? Oh, for me, I don't smell bad. Everybody that's around me says I don't smell bad. The only person who
How
says
did we
I
get
smell
so far in this
bad,
video? Hold on.
person who's named
How did it
themselves,
skip?
and he guys need to stop.
I hit a button.
And
I hit a button somewhere.
Blocked
Wait.
by the end. We won't complain.
There we go.
Show us your woke games.
This is where we were.
Somebody replies, focus on the engine and not politics.
Now, that's funny. That's just funny, though.
And they have now been blocked by the engine. So we have an instance of another community manager of a company that actually like isn't doing anything to improve the product or anything like that. And woke ERP, yeah, exactly. And I don't think I'll be clicking that. Fair enough. There's another one right here. Let's see if I can find some more of these. And game engine social media accounts shouldn't be blocking developers. I don't know.
I 100% agree. The only thing a game engine should block a developer for is abuse of their tools or something along those lines. Like, they're using their systems to somehow, like, they're using their engine to somehow, like, hack clients or something. That's a developer that you don't want on your engine. You don't want them using your program to somehow gain access to someone else's computer. But outside of like nefarious or extremely illegal activities, there should be almost no reason, aside from maybe the other one being non-payment, like you're not licensed to use their equipment, but there should be no reason in which you ever block a developer from using your program. You want more people to use your program, because the more people that use it and make like incredible games with it, the more people will gravitate to your platform and make more games with it. And I'm sure most of their income or revenue comes from people engaging with their product in some manner.
You know what Godot,
so it's terrible business.
Social media manager is thinking tech guys need to stop putting their social media in the hands of activists, even if they do it for free. The guy that made Godot has been replying to people all day saying he has no idea why people are being blocked, and he hasn't even interacted with it. So the main
he has no idea why people are being blocked. I mean, my first question is, how big is the company that you don't know who your community manager is? I mean, he to be fair, he doesn't know like what triggered this person. Like, maybe this is a personal friend. Who knows what it is? It's all speculation once again. But for some reason, this person has just gone off the deep end. And they could just be crazy. They could just be off their meds. But they seriously need to reconsider this community manager.
Godot account has banned me for quoting the Godot creator. I posted it just to test how bad the situation is. I didn't think they would actually do it. I deeply believe that any political discussion that puts labels on a group of people is one that should not have started. And this is apparently a quote from the person who made this engine. And they have now been blocked by the community manager running.
Political discussion that puts labels to a group of people is one that should not have started. I don't think you can have a political discussion that doesn't put some kind of label on some person at all. Like, so his logic there brings you to a place that political discussions should never be started to begin with. Because I don't think you can escape labels of some sort in any political discussions, whether it be the label of liberals, conservatives, socialists, communists. Like, no matter what the label is, labels are involved as soon as politics are involved. So that's a weird take from the developer there.
the account. The community Discord moderator joins in, doubling down on Godot blocking Purge for daring to say virtue signaling should not be the focus of open source game engine.
It shouldn't be.
This drama isn't created by Godot, just made a nice tweets to surface indie games. The drama is created by reactionary, insecure cowards who have nothing better to do in their day than shit on something they are unconcerned with. They feel persecuted because other people exist and are visible. These people's cowardice and small-mindedness. What about this? They should be doing these tweets every 30 minutes. Anyone?
These people's cowardice and small-mindedness is a danger to everyone. They're the filth of humanity, and banning them is a kindness to everyone, including themselves. That way, they can continue to pretend the world is made only of cowards like them and not be subject to people that are different. I do think this is a terrible idea. This is creating an echo chamber. This is like, oh, you have a view that differs from ours, and you don't like us because we're visible. Like, again, they're putting words in someone else's mouth. They are assuming that this other person, this third party, the people that they're banning, hates them for being visible. No, they hate them for using a neutral, like an enigma of an application or some sort of... I struggle with the words on this, but they hate... They're speaking out against this person for weaponizing the game engine for their political beliefs. It got anything to do with the visibility. These people are giving the LGBTQ a bad name. So one thing that I have to say is every group of people, every types of people out there have outliers. They have the extremists that exist within those groups, and it doesn't matter what group of people you take, there is always extremists. And this person, with how they're acting here, is an extremist. They have gone too far into that direction, and those people, usually the minority winds up representing the majority, and that's how these social stigmas, or what is it known as, stereotypes. That's how stereotypes kind of begin or are created, is because the minority of people within the group wind up being the martyr, the representation of the group, because they're the loud, outspoken, visible. Like these people that are so obsessed with being visible are the ones that are making the rest of them look bad. So this person, I don't agree with what they're doing with their engine. Like, just overall, I agree with Asmon that this is terrible.
Has a problem with them can fuck off into oblivion. So basically what's ended up happening is that, what a surprise that a person who's named themselves off of a drug that people need to take so they don't go fucking crazy, and is the person who's trying to co-opt.
Just do your best to be a normal human being about it, and there will be no drama. Is it normal to weaponize your company to push your morals onto other people? Is that the normal thing to do? I missed that memo. I missed that one. I didn't realize that was normal.
This engine to be a vehicle.
I've been doing it wrong.
Their message. Yeah, their name is Xanax. There you go. And so anyway, I love Xanax though. That's fine, but I wouldn't.
To be fair, it's not Xanax. It's Xanax. There's an extra nah.
My identity.
There's some salt in there.
You have no right to speech here because I consider your speech to be toxic vomit. If you think
is salt, is sodium Na? I feel like it is. Hold on, I have to know now. This is what ADHD brain looks like, by the way. Na element. Sodium. It's Xanax with a little salt mixed in. It makes perfect sense. The dude's salty. He's high and salty,
queer
all
people
right?
to share their games as politics. You're a toxic piece of fuck.
Dude, this makes so much sense.
And I want you to feel disrespected and to fuck off as fast as you can. And
write a speech here because I consider your speech to be toxic vomit. If you think of inviting queer people to share their games as politics, you're a toxic piece. So it's the virtue signaling that's the politics. Those people, the people that you are saying, the queer people, to share their games, they're already sharing their games. They don't need representation from the engine to share their games. They make their games, they share their games. If the game blows up, good for them. They make money. They become known as a good game developer. You know what I mean? So this implication that, you know, that they're not able to do these things unless you give them recognition is absolutely asinine. Like it isn't forwarding any kind of cause. Those people could have done those things anyways. What you're trying to do is you're trying to draw new people to the you're trying to draw people that only care about representation into the engine to make games. And to be honest, the people that only care about representation, we don't really want to play their games anyways. If all they care about is making a game that meets their needs, so their representation criterion or criteria, you're probably not going to enjoy their games anyways, because their games are going to have this representation vomited all throughout the whole game system, throughout every corner of the game system. Your character window, your inventory window, like everywhere you go, you're going to see something about your representation. So the ones that don't care that much about representation are already on the engine and they're already creating the games. So this is like a moot point. It's silly.
And this is what these kinds of people do. They try to, they'll, you know, invent some sort of like weird oversimplification of what's being discussed, and then they'll pretend like that's what's happening because that normalizes their insane behavior. So it's like, if you think that queer people and gay people shouldn't be able to have a voice, like what this person is saying, then it logically makes sense that that person is an asshole, and if the person's an asshole, it's okay to treat him like an asshole.
Again, they do have a voice. Their voice doesn't have to be visible. They just make a good game, and then that's fine. Like, why do they have to be represented? I don't get it.
So that's how this goes. Overcompensation for their life. It's so fucking weird. It is insanely fucking weird. It is absolutely insane. I hope these freaks get bullied off the platform. Well, what do you think I'm here for?
True. I gotta join in on this fun too.
Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think I'm talking about this? I think that these people are so insanely fucking toxic that these are people, I guarantee you, have no fucking friends. Nobody likes them. I look at them, I can guarantee you, like they posted, I don't want to show pictures of this person, but I looked at the pictures, I can guarantee you they smell bad. Absolutely, just look at them, you know.
So, to be fair, this is silly. This is just a random point. I have seen people that I thought would stink, and they don't stink. So, to say that you could picture that they stink from mere appearances, this is a bit... I think he's playing it up. I think he's being a little ridiculous here. Because, like I said, I've seen some of the dirtiest looking people, and at worst, they smell like grease. You know what I mean? Like a mechanic or something like that. And I've seen people that look good. I've seen people that look normal, and they stink. So you can't say the person looks like they're gonna stink. It's hard to, unless like maybe a super hippie appearance, maybe like you think they live in the woods and don't shower, then maybe, but it's hard to say that someone with a computer and access to technology is just gonna stink by looking at them. He's just being funny, I hope, here.
That it's not even a question. So when I see people that do this, creates a huge crisis for the open source.
He's drama llama.
Seems like he doesn't care specifically, and it's just gone with this take. And I told you this would happen. I think you're exaggerating a bit, to be honest. I think that a lot of companies have a really big problem with people that are in these social roles that are going to cut. And this coming from Asma, what do you mean by this? Smells bad? Oh, for me, I don't smell bad. Everybody that's around me says I don't smell bad. The only person that says I smell bad are people that don't know me.
I believe it.
Really? I'm serious. Smell like dust? I don't smell like dust. Get the fuck out of here. Dust. It's not even dust. She doesn't even know what that means. Okay? I mean, she doesn't know what. She didn't say I smell bad. That's not what she said. Okay? It's not. Dusted. Shut the fuck up. That's totally different. She said, I think no, she did not.
All right. Come on.
Bullshit.
Move along.
Fucking lying. House cleaning stream? I actually cleaned a lot of my house the other day because there was a dead rat and I was trying to find it. I found it though, it's okay.
Okay.
No, I do not smell bad. Anyway, if I see like this...
He gets awfully defensive about not smelling bad. Just saying, that's a little too defensive. Just let him believe it. You always said you shouldn't... Asmon himself has said on several occasions that you shouldn't try to defend these things because you're not going to change their mind. So just play. He should just go with his normal tactic of playing it off. Stop trying to defend it. Stop trying to. The more defensive you get, I don't smell. The more pushback you're gonna get. Just. He's funny. I think he's playing it up just for the entertainment value.
I've been blocked. Guess what? I'm a titanium level backer for Godot Fund. Guess what my next move is? So basically, anybody who has questioned this community manager who has co-opted this account to push their agenda, anybody who's questioned them at all has been blocked by the community manager, which is crazy. This reply was hidden by the original author. And then you're unable to view this post because the account owner limits who can view their posts. I cannot wait for Elon to make the thing to where people can't block me from reading their posts. I am going to be...
Look at this. No thank you. I'm gay and I received worse by the woke because I dare disagree. But that doesn't make this any better. You're basically giving me the win here that there's bad, disgusting extremists, even offering money for a hit. Joke or not. That's gross. That's hate. But this is not that. Censorship is bad on principle. I am a gay man. The people not bothered or okay with the censorship are violent racists. You heard it from the LGBT community themselves. They don't want you to build an echo chamber for them where they're safe and they get representation. Just leave it alone. Stop making the rest of them look so bad. You are the problem. You're making the rest of the community bad by using the engine to project your ideals. This is just terrible.
Be so fucking excited to see that because I'm gonna get so much more content out of that. It's gonna be so, and I'll get it anyway, right? It's just more annoying. It's gonna make it easier. You're telling us that a rat, which has been proven to solve their way of a complex labyrinth, couldn't make it out of your house? I know.
True.
Yeah. This is
Complex
just proof
house.
of the paradox of tolerance. Yep. If you tolerate people like this is what they'll do. And you let.
Now, notice he says tolerate people like this. Now, he's not saying all gays or all LGBT. He's talking about the extremists. People who do these things. These are the people that you should never tolerate.
Let somebody like this take over your social media and they're going to turn your social media into a vehicle for them to push their crazy causes and to push their agendas.
This is
and
not
they're going
all
to alienate
LGBT.
your customers. They're going to alienate people that are just paying attention to them in a casual sense, and they're going to alienate people you do business with. And I think this is a huge problem that a lot of companies are running into when you're hiring community managers that are, in general, mentally ill activists that categorize and identify themselves as drugs. Like, I'm sorry, but
Salty
if you're
drugs.
self-identifying as a drug and you're getting upset about this kind of stuff, I think this really shows a lot. And Helldivers 2 had this problem happen as well. So, and this isn't the first time. So if you guys remember the way that Helldivers 2 had this happen, so Helldivers 2 had a Discord moderator that, number one, said that Grums was like a breast milk thief at Blizzard. So like just completely unsubstantiated accusation. It's pretty much defamation. Crazy, crazy accusation to make, right? Like super insane to say that. Number one. Number two, they wanted to make sure that furry art was still allowed to be posted on the Helldivers Discord. And then anybody who reacted to their announcement defending the furry art with the clown emoji was banned from the Helldivers 2 Discord.
So, again, we go back to the topic of extremists. So, this is some dude's friend or someone that they know that somehow got into the company, maybe some kind of nepotism play or so whatever. They got into the company. They got the community manager role because there's no other role that they could fill. They didn't have the skills or personability to be able to fill any other role within the company. So it's not like they're a story writer or anything like that. They're a community manager. And it's an extremist. So just because within the furry community there is an extremist that acts out, just like within the LGBT, there's a minority representing the majority, the people that you see at the front of these dramas doesn't mean they represent the rest of them.
This was all over furry. I swear to God, like, I'm not, I know you're thinking, shut up, like, this is not what happened. Look, let me see if I can find this. Furry Helldivers 2 mod. Helldivers 2 mods protect furry posts. Negative reaction to furry artwork is punished. Helldivers 2 studio endorses degenerate furry art, bans everyone calling it gross. Helldivers 2 just can't catch a break. This is a reminder that if...
So, just because someone, like, vomit reacts the art, doesn't mean, like, it doesn't meet their taste, but it's not like they spent an exorbitant amount of their time hating on it. They clicked an emoji and then they moved on with their life. So to ban them for that is ridiculous. And I have something else on this. It's ridiculous to ban someone for vomit reacting to furry art and to assume that they're attacking it, right? Everyone calling it gross. It's not like they typed out a bunch of sentences saying, oh, this is awful, and even if they did, they have the right to that opinion. Once again, you're just creating another echo chamber that is furry tolerant and ostracizing a portion of the game community. And the less players the game community has, the less fun the game's going to be, because it's that game in particular, from what I've seen and heard, is fairly reliant on a large player base. So you don't want to lose the player base over something dumb like this. They've already had enough hits to their player base. So I agree that this is just another extremist, for like a furry extremist, which again happens in every type of group. When you group humans together, this is what happens. You get outliers, you get extremists.
Gross. Helldivers 2 just can't catch a break. This is a reminder that if you want to vomit react furry art or be a jerk about furry art, that you are lining up for a 24-hour timeout by me. And by the way, this is about a video game that has nothing to do with furries. This is nothing to do with it. These companies need to get these fucking freaks out of these different positions. These people are insane. They need to be...
Okay, so we're generalizing again. These people, like, he's saying, it sounds like he's saying furries are insane. Extremists are insane. The furries that he's talking about are insane, but not all furries.
Be in a mental institution, and instead they're the ones with the fucking keys. They're the ones that are trying to tell people,
I don't got no keys.
You're gonna get blocked, you're gonna get banned. This person, how does this happen? How do companies let this happen? The furry lied about the 24-hour ban, by the way. I'm perma-banned. That's, what a surprise.
So how did they get there? That's extremely, like, concerning. Like, it comes back to maybe one thing. Maybe it's a DEI hire, and the only place they could find for them was community manager. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, it's the only place that they could fit, and it wasn't a good place for them either. I hope they get rid of them, but from what I've heard, they haven't. Extremists don't belong in power anywhere.
Unbelievable. I don't understand how these people always get the keys. Let me explain how it happens. The way that it happens is that these people, you try to give them a chance, and you try to give them an opportunity. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to treat you like a person rather than your identity. And then this person, what you don't know is that their identity is their entire personality. So if this is all they're going to do, this is all they're going to push. That's it. That's all they do. And then as soon as they start infecting one group, then, like, you know, you start off with one furry Discord moderator. Then before you know it, there's two. And then those two have their friends. Now you've got four.
So
furry moderators. You've got a big problem on your hands here.
So what I've got to say about this is, remember that in this case we're dealing with an extremist in the furry community. And those outliers still find subgroups within the group. So there's like the furry group, and then there's like the real freaks, and then there's the outcasts who don't get along with people, but they find a couple people they get along with. And then you get this outcast in a position of power, and he brings these other people that have similar thought process to themselves in, and create the 2 and the 4 that Asmongold is talking about here. But they're all the extremists. They're all the loud, outspoken minority. So, again, they are what you see. Having a bunch of furries is not a bad thing. It doesn't have to devolve into everything being about furries, because a lot of them are normal, and they have their furry Discord groups where they can go post furry related stuff. Not all furries feel the need to throw like anthropomorphic renditions or art or whatever into the faces of average people. Not all of them feel that need to do that. Again, we're dealing with the extremist level of the furry fandom.
This is an
fanatics. The
and
fanatics.
So now those furry moderators are bringing in more furries into the community, and now you've got like a furry contingency of your community with these.
So what? There's furries. Like, if you made it illegal, they would still exist. You just wouldn't see them, and you would never know.
Moderators that are like giving them preferential treatment, and then it's like, well, the other moderators are leaving.
And there's another problem. The preferential treatment. Someone needs to hold them accountable if they see this preferential treatment. That's something that you can't allow. You can't allow, like, if someone breaks the rules, then they're banned. That's it. It doesn't matter if they're a furry. You don't ban the other person. Like, you ban both, or you ban the one that started it. So if they both engage in, like, breaching the TOS of the community, you know what I mean? Like the guidelines or the standard operating procedure, whatever have you, of the community, then either both or the antagonizer should be removed. But it should never be this one group every time is winning or this one group every time is winning. And if you notice that kind of pattern happening, start your own group for the game. Like, start a new Discord. I don't know. The only way you're going to be able to stop it is by getting away from that group. I don't think the game should die because of these people, but they should definitely make subgroups that don't have that situation.
Because they're like, this is weird, and so then you have to get a new moderator that was recommended by the furry moderators. Guess what the new moderator is? That's right, it's another fucking furry. And before you know it, the entire Discord is infected with the fucking furries, and the game is about fucking furries. And they've got a Rule 34 channel that's got no age gate, and they're posting on that more than the general discussion about the game.
So it's got no age gate. There's another problem. As long as they're not posting like 18 plus images, I don't see a reason for like an age gate. Especially if it's like the chibi style art styles or whatever, then whatever, let them do them. The problem comes with what this person here, Juan123 in Asmon's chat says, YIF posting. Images of explicit generalities, what is a better word for that? Nature. Images of explicit nature. That is really where the age gate is like mandatory, and I would say even suggestive natures, like, you know, bathing suits and stuff like that. Something that paints them in an over sexualized light, I would say for sure should be age gated. But if you're doing like chibi furry art or just like cutesy stuff, I don't think that should be age gated. And people are going to react both positively and negatively. And you're allowed to have that in the community. You can have 200 vomit emotes and 200 thumbs up emotes. You know what I mean? It's a free country, freedom of speech. You should allow all of this to happen. You should not be banning people for negative reactions to something. And you have to remember that everybody is their own person. They just don't like what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. Asmon's funny, man.
What the fuck happened? This is insane. I always knew Godot engine was on the path of eventual downfall. I even predicted it years ago, but I never expected it to happen this fast. They're blocking everybody. They're using this social, what do you call it? This brand account as like their own social media profile.
Sorry,
they've completely co-opted it and turned it into, this is insane. Look at this. That's all, folks. These people have weaponized the LGBT movement to
over
attack
half
others,
the video I've been blocking.
Like the Hogwarts Legacy cancellation against Silvervale. Absolutely. You are 100% right.
The what?
And the worst thing about it is that I think these nasty fucking freaks, which is what they are, nasty fucking freaks, what they're doing is they are hurting every single normal person's perception of their identity group.
Yes.
And they're making
100% accurate.
Now, I see very regularly, you know, people saying based to Hitler. People talking about how, oh yeah, the Taliban is making it to where women can't speak.
So what's happening is by putting ourselves in this position and the minority being so visible as it is, he's right here. He is creating extremists, or they are creating extremists in the wrong direction. They're counteracting the cause that has been worked for this whole time. The LGBTQ whatever cause is being disrupted by these extremists.
Oh, I think we're talking about like getting rid of same-sex marriage. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's
Oh my
that's a
God.
loss.
And this is what's happening. It's the same. It's like, what is the for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yep.
I think that's what's happening here.
That is.
And it's causing us to regress so fucking much. It's doing, like, they are undoing like 30 or 40 years of social progress.
Absolutely.
Because they're so fucking insane and crazy that they've ruined everything.
Yeah.
Regression. Yeah, we're having a massive level of regression on a level that I don't think we've ever seen before.
So, on that note, if you see those people that are just unreasonable, you can tell they're in their emotions, they're unreasonable, they don't think logically. If you see them, you should just block them. Don't even look at what they have to say, because not all of them are like that. Just a select few. And it's not fair for everybody to be judged on that. It's like them calling everybody settlers or whatever, conquerors or whatever they call, white folk. That's the level of energy that they're given. You're being blamed colonizer. That's the one. That's what they call them. They're calling us colonizers now or something like that. We're being blamed for other people, you know what I mean? For how our ancestors arrived here. Nobody wants to be blamed for someone else's business, So, just the majority being represented by the minority. I've said it a couple times. It's just really bad for the whole movement and everything.
Actually, that's not true. I'm sure it was bad in the past, and I'm sure there have been other issues that have been this bad. But in my lifetime, this is the worst that I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
The insane people that did it don't care, though. It's not that they don't care. It's that they're too mentally ill and stupid to understand what they're doing. It's not that they don't care. It's they don't even know what they care about to begin with. So if and look at, like, going and blocking, using...
They care about forcing their ideals down everybody else's throat. They want to force everyone to accept them walking around in fishnet stockings and a thong. You know what I mean? They want people to accept that, and we're never gonna reach that level of acceptance within society. You don't need to be so open that your mere presence represents what you are. So many LGBT just blend in and live a life. And then as soon as they get home, they're with their partner. The partner that they wanted, that they met on an app. But regressing society to a point where it's like you're afraid to go on a dating app because it might be a sting operation to find out if you're gay. That's an awful concept. Could you imagine? Like, just think about that. Imagine that they made heterosexuality illegal. Obviously, this is never going to happen. But imagine they did. You go on Tinder to look for a girl, and you find a girl, and you're like, hey, yeah, I got this girl, swipe back. You know what I mean? And you go and you meet that girl at a bar. And then 5 police come out of nowhere. And they're like, you got with a girl. You're going to jail, man. That sounds like a good use of taxpayer money right there. Putting people in jail for liking other dudes. You know what I mean? Just let them do their business. Most of the gays and LGBT, just everyone, lesbians, whatever, they're not loud. They're not out there. They're not in the light. They're just living their life. They're doing what they want. They're going to clubs.
Godot's official account to go on a huge blocking spree because customers and observers alike do not like their virtue signaling posts. The CM is even blocking paying customers. Man. Focus on the engine and not politics, and I've been blocked. Wow. Bye, Godot. I'm moving to Unity despite their UI that is ridiculous. Imagine, bro, you had, oh my God. It's like, this is like in the NBA when they miss a free throw. You don't just
you're throwing money away.
Throw the fucking ball. Like, that's it. You have it. Like, this is the easiest, freest shit.
Set it ablaze. The money's gone.
What are you doing? This CM is a Unity plant to get custom. Yeah, are they? Is this CM? That's a good point. Is the CM being paid by Unity on the side to make the engine look like it's for insane people?
That would make so much sense, and it would clear up so much if that was the case. I would be thoroughly amused if that's true, because that's funny. We're back to espionage. We're sending the LGBT plants into rival companies and making their engine worse.
What is this? Unity also canceled the runtime fee? Well, they didn't cancel it. They delayed it until you forget. But anyway, to be fair,
I don't know what the runtime fee is.
The CEO is no longer the CEO of Unity, so maybe there is actual changes made. However, I again, that's a whole separate topic. Let's not even get into that. The point is that I saw a post on the Godot forum that reads, "Is this really a good way to manage Godot's social media?" I wanted to read it, and I saw this post was flagged by the community and is temporarily hidden.
Of course it is.
Man. Can you look up how much it takes to become a titanium level backer of Godot? I don't know what that number is. I'm not sure about that. So yeah, if somebody else knows, then you can inform me or like tell me where I can go. But $100 a month, is that correct?
$1,200 a year, if that's the case.
So let me get this straight.
Companies always operate off of your annual earnings, or actually quarterly earnings is kind of how corporations operate. But a lot of corporations look at the bottom line for the year. So whenever you look at something like that and you say this person pays $100 a month, a company is looking at $1,200 a year. That's what they're thinking. So if they lose that customer, they just lost $1,200. That is their bottom line. That is what they think they lost. And the reason I know this is I managed several Circle Ks, and they put me through a management training program. And so whenever you have like a customer, you always gauge that customer on their yearly worth. So if you have a customer that comes to your store 3 times a week and they spend $7 every time they come in, then you're looking at $21 a week for this customer. And that's just on their normal purchases. That doesn't include the occasional extra expenditure or impulse buys, because stores are set up around impulse buys. So these people are throwing away yearly earnings. So that $21 a week comes out to what? Times 4? $84 a month? 840 plus 160 is somewhere around 900, 1,000. It's about $1,000 a month for a $7 a day $7 a day 3 times a week customer. So the company looks at that one individual as $1,000. You have 10 of those individuals, you have $10,000. So companies look at that, and they look at this situation where you see each of these people are engaging with the public. So anytime you have a bad experience, there's the rule of 10 or whatever it is, rule of 5, rule of 10. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I've managed Circle or a company. I shouldn't name the company. It's been a while since I've managed gas stations. But when one person has a bad experience, they tell 5 other people, and each of those people could potentially tell 5 other people. And if any of those people were regulars, you've not just cost them $1,000, but potentially $5,000 or $10,000 or $25,000 if you multiply it by 5 again. So you see each of these people that are working with Godot, they're making posts about this, and these posts are garnering engagement. Like, by this guy right here, by Godot, I'm moving to Unity despite their UI is ridiculous. Has 66 comments, 2,800 likes. What do you think the chances are that the 66 comments, 2,800 likes, 83 reposts? What do you think the chances are that, I don't know, a quarter of those people might also be engaged with programming in Godot? If we say a quarter of those people, they just lost what? 22? No, it's a little less. 22 would be like 18, 16. It's about 16 people. They just lost 16 potential customers just on the comments. If you apply that quarter number to, 2.8 thousand, which, I mean, I might be a little high. It could be 10%. So let's use 10%. If 10% of the 2,800 likes are game developers, then they just lost 28 customers. 28 times 1,200 a month. They just lost a significant profit margin. If it's $100 a month for whatever the program services are. So it's crazy when you look at it on a yearly basis at how much money this singular CM is potentially costing them. All the bad publicity and everything. And they will recover because obviously the CEO of the company or whoever created the company is like, I don't know what's going on, but they did put this person in power, so they're still going to have that kind of backlash or potential, like, people bringing it up in the future about, hey, remember that time? But as long as they rectify the situation, they get the CM out of here and they get a new CM and they go through the archives and unban the people that were banned in the span of time, they're going to recover. They might have to give out some free membership for a while to a couple of the people that were really affected, like Mr. What was it, Platinum? What was his level? Titanium. The Titanium. They might have to give some kickback to some of those Titanium subscribers. Maybe like 2 or 3 months. Ought to appease some of them for the troubles that they've had to go through. But they're going to be doing damage control on this, for sure.
So, the mentally ill community manager running this account blocked someone who's paying $100 a month to support the project because the person decided to say focus on the engine and not politics. Ridiculous. I just want to make sure that I understand this. I want to say it in one sentence. That way, I know that I'm not insane. That's correct? Exactly. Unreal. Absolutely fucking unreal.
Yeah.
I think that, again,
he's looking at it from a money perspective.
These companies
He knows.
Need to get these people out of here.
He's a business owner.
They need to get rid of them. They've also blocked me on GitHub. Wait, the devs are getting blocked on GitHub as... Oh my god. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look, so this is just a random guy.
Yep.
Senior automation architect, Linux system admin, engineer, backcountry camping, and poking around Zelda. First and Second Amendment, American flag. I guess, what is this? The Japanese flag? I'm not sure. Thoughts are my own. Duh. Yeah, is it Japanese? I'm not sure. Well, there you go, guys. Check the Godot Reddit. Okay, let me see if I can find it. For the engine. Okay, let me see. What's Godot Twitter yapping about? Let me see if I can figure out the rest of this. So there's only one post about this, really. And it's been locked. The post has been locked. To avoid flooding the Reddit with posts about this topic, these posts are going to get locked or deleted. We're going to wait for the foundation statement today. You can discuss there. Oh my god.
There was a post about a day or so ago about how any game using Unreal and was made by lazy devs and would be woke with forced diversity. No clue what they were rambling about, but thinking this is a response. I could believe that someone was talking about Unreal and calling it woke, and then this person flew off the handle like a game company can't be woke, or no, a game engine can't be woke. Watch me, we're woke now, and it's like, oh Jesus. I could see it being an overreaction to a different situation. I said that at the start, actually, that it could have been an overreaction to something they read or saw. Absolutely blown out of proportion.
Unbelievable, man. Broston did it. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. What do you expect? It's Reddit after all. Well, I guess they're going to have to make a statement about this. They're going to have to do something. Reddit's so fucking dumb. I guess so. People discussing things. We must do something about this on Reddit. Well, there's...
The people demand a sacrifice.
Like, Reddit has a big problem with this, too. Like, basically, it's kind of like a power... So, like, there's an idea of, like, a power paradox, where it's that the people who are seeking power are oftentimes the ones that should have it the least. So you have people that are willing to do a job, like, you know, do something like this, and these people want to have this power because they want to use the power on other people. Like, how many times have you guys heard someone saying, like, oh, I want to have control over this so I can, like, do something to somebody, right? I can, like, punish somebody or something like that, right?
So I believe this in a way, but I think this boils down a lot simpler than what he's saying here. I think what happens is people want the power, they want management positions so that they don't have to work anymore. I think it boils down to they're just lazy, and they think that if they get into a position of power, they won't have to do work. But what they don't realize is a lot of time those positions of power come with what is known as a mental, what is it? You have physical drain and like a mental drain. Those positions of power more often than not come with a mental toll, a mental drain. And you might not be doing all of the labor, but you have a whole host of new issues that you're responsible for. You get into that management position, your store runs out of like stock, you're out of Doritos chips, you're out of Powerade, you're out of something. That is your fault. You know what I mean? And you have to track the sales, or you have to track everything, and you are the accountable party. So when that store is losing money because the product's not in the store, or people are stealing the product and you haven't been replacing it so that it can be sold to someone else, you are the person that the owners are looking at. So, but obviously the IQ of people these days is not super high, and they don't think that far forward. They think, if I can get there, I won't have to work. And that is never true. It is never true. No matter how high up the chain you go, you will never not have to work at all. You can be pretty hands-off. You can have people below you that are responsible for things. You could own your own company and hire someone to manage the people and manage the assets and manage your finances. But you are still responsible for making sure the finance manager gets paid. You're still responsible for making sure the managers getting their money. You know what I mean? If John, that's managing, you know, at the CFO level, managing your whole company, doesn't get his payment, who does he turn to? He looks at you and says, "Where's my money?" And that's where it is. So no matter how high up the chain you go, you will never not have to work. Sometimes the people you hired to do all the work for you get sick. Unless you have a lot of contingency plans, someone's got to fill those shoes. Sometimes it could be someone from just under them. They can step up and manage temporarily, but you're still going to have to step in and look at things. Because if you go hands off, you go 100% hands off, people are greedy. They don't want to work they don't want to work that hard for money. And if they think you're not looking, they're going to try to scrape some off the top for themselves. And that's just how it is. So you always have to be looking. Otherwise, you're losing money. So the premise or the belief that they can work their way up and get to a point where they don't have to work is just a dream. It never gets there. You could definitely hit a point where you enjoy what you do. If you find something you enjoy doing, you never work a day in your life, and I believe that. So there is a point where you can hit that, but like I said, Asmon's a businessman. He definitely understands these concepts.
Right? They want to abuse it. Yeah, exactly. Most people want power so they can abuse the power.
Exactly.
And they're also the ones that become the most motivated to seek the power because they have a...
So people that don't seek power are the ones you want in power, because I don't want that responsibility. You know what I mean? I have been there. I've managed people, and I can't manage people. I don't want that responsibility. I understand everything that goes into it, and I don't want nothing to do with it. But they're the people that are best suited for the job.
A strong desire on doing it. This CM strikes me as the person who would refuse to step down if fired. Well, I mean, you don't really need to refuse. I mean, you just fire them. Like, that's it, right? It's not even a question.
You just stop paying them.
Yeah. I mean, blocking this many of the actual developers who, I mean, and again, it's not like the developers are talking about, like, it's not like they're being racist or, like, saying bad stuff. No, they're just saying,
reasonable.
Hey, this is a game engine. Why are you talking about, what is this, like, weird politics stuff?
Yeah,
like, stop this. This is weird. You know? And they're getting blocked.
Yep.
These are the kinds of people that want to change male and female to body type 1 and 2.
This gives me a hilarious thought. If I was game dev, I have a sudden strong urge to make a game where I call male, like I call the genders male and female, but I give the male only female options. He has breasts, he has long hair, he has a clean shaven face, and then I give the female only male models. So if you pick the word female, you have the male character, and if you pick the word female, you have a male, or the word male, you have a female character, and if you click the word female, you have a male character. I feel like that would be hilarious, just as a meme. I would 100%, if I was a game dev, that's what I would do. I would immediately make a game where, and I wouldn't show you either until you're on character creation. It has to be like, choose your gender, male, female, unspecified. Just make it like 3 big blocks that they click, and then they click the word male and then female model. Oh my god, I'd be rolling, dude. Rolling on the floor. I love it.
Absolutely insane, mentally ill freaks that have infested social media and these different companies, and they are ruining entertainment. They are ruining every facet of everything that they touch, just like they have ruined their own lives, and that wasn't enough for them. They're on the internet, and they're doing it to everybody else as well. This is exhausting. I think it's exhausting for every normal person out there, and I think it's very, very scary, the fact that I am being considered. I think that I at least think that I am normal compared to these people. I should never think that I'm normal.
Me either. I agree with this.
And compared to these people, I think I am a fine, average citizen. A normal guy. Compared to this.
True.
Oh my god. Compared to those actually are? I guess so, man. I consider you normal just like me? Yeah, that's scary. Tell that to your
He realizes how
I'm
scary.
pretty sure the cockroaches are more normal than these people.
More cockroaches, more.
That's
normal
the
than
problem.
people.
And so this is another instance. I feel like companies have a really big problem with like trying to filter this stuff out. You need to stop hiring people that want to co-opt your platform to push their narrow-minded agenda, and they will use your platform as a weapon and your product as a weapon to push that agenda. There is no line they won't cross. There is no thing they won't do. There is no depth that they will not
extremists.
reach. These people are absolute psychos. They're freaks. They are probably weird in real life too. Seemingly probably nobody likes them. And after their
not even their own community
life, they're gonna go and ruin yours. They think they're unstoppable because of discrimination. Well, I think that it's
they're stoppable. There's a reason they put their profile on private. Just remember that. They're stoppable.
It has been time
There's enough of you
for
to stop
years for a pushback against this stuff. That's why I'm talking about it. I think more people, more normal, average people need to speak up and talk about this. Because the problem with what's happening is that a lot of normal people don't really care about this. And I can respect that. But the problem is that those people don't respect you. And they'll take their extreme agendas and they'll take their like really like contrived worldview and they will force it on you. They just haven't done it yet. There will never be enough for them because they wield power through there not being enough and them needed to be appealed to. So because of the way that they exist and the way that their power exists, they will never be satisfied because being satisfied is relinquishing their power. It's been like this for 4 years now. It's been like this for 10 years. This is nuts. I wonder what's going to happen because I think the company will have to make a statement about this at a certain point. It seems like they already are going to, from what I'm reading.
I look forward to Asmon's follow-up video on this.
Imagine creating this problem out of fucking nowhere. Imagine working years on a product, building a game engine, and then having it damaged by some mentally ill retard that you thought
that you put there
to give them control of your social media.
You put it there. How did you miss it?
What a waste.
They can't be that deceptive,
Stupid fucking
right?
Mistakes, man.
There had to have been signs. There had to have been signs, man.
Being anti-Ubisoft makes...
Stop. There had to have been signs. I refuse to believe that they just snuck in there and got... Maybe it's been hacked. Maybe someone got in there with a thumb drive and it was some espionage and they were like... They socially engineered their way into the Godot headquarters, and they got like a thumb drive in the server room somehow. They got like a key into the server room, and they thumb drive the server room, and then they went back and they hacked into the system and they got the password, and then they logged into the community manager account and they started pushing their agenda. Maybe it was just all it's a stretch of the truth. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed looking at it. I definitely have a couple points where I differ a little bit there. But for the most part, I agree with a lot of what he says. So, it's a good video. And now, with that, I'm going to switch to my games and do video game streams. So if you enjoy hanging out, you want to chat, throw me some chat messages. I'm going to switch my categories over, get back onto the game that I'm going to play. So, I'm going to end the stream, pick up the stream back up, so that I can get it back onto the next thing. The next thing! Actually, I think I might call it a night. This was a good short video. I got some plans tomorrow. So, that was a 1-hour stream. Call it a night at that. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. As always.